Today we are taking a look at my first, or one of my two first Reate knives, and we're gonna start with the Coyote, or Coyote. Not quite sure how to pronounce it, to be honest. So I got a mail call right before New Year's Eve. It contained 10 different folders, 2 Reate, 2 Liangma, 1 Wee knife, 1 Civivi, 3 real steels, and 1 MKM, I believe. And out of all those knives, this was one of those that took me by surprise in a positive way, because I saw the specs, I saw the design, I felt like this could be an interesting one to start with as one of my first knives from Reate. But once I unboxed it, held it in hand and flipped it open and played around with it a bit, I just felt that this was, it spoke to me right away. So I like this one a lot. I can say that already. But yeah, Reate Coyote. Not sure how well it can be seen as usual. It is hard getting the best light conditions, especially during this time of the year, for both inside and outside video shooting. Anyway, let's flip it open and take a closer look of sorts. This is what it looks like. And I really like this design. Both, handle design, handle ergonomics, blade shape, and everything. So let's start by going over the actual specs here. So we have a blade with an overall length, or a total length of 197 millimeters. So it's not a super large knife, but it's not a really small knife either. It's somewhere in between, I'd say. We got a blade length of 83 millimeters, and we got a close length of 114 millimeters, with a total weight of 107 grams. Let's see, we got a blade thickness. See how well that can be seen. A blade thickness of, I believe it should be 4 millimeters, I'm fairly sure. But due to the swedge, which goes pretty much the entire way here, it will look a lot thinner than 4 millimeters. But that is, like I said, due to the swedge grind going all the way here. The blade steel used for this one is my favorite blade steel out of them all, which is M390. And that is a highly corrosion resistant steel with extremely good edge retention, but as always you will have to put some effort in if you want to, or if you have to sharpen it, should you manage to completely dull it. I try to maintain the edge while I use it, so it never gets completely dull, because it would be kind of difficult to, not kind of difficult, but it would take some effort to sharpen it and not messing up the edge geometry or angle, depending on your methods of sharpening your knives. And as you can see, this knife is also, it has a slight, ever so slight recurve to it. And I used to be, like a few years ago, I wasn't a big fan of recurves, but it is something that I can really enjoy these days. Not a very pronounced recurve on this one. I have knives with extreme recurves, and they can pose sort of a challenge to sharpen. but this should not be too tough, to be honest. Taking a look at the handle here, so it is titanium, some sort of maybe like bead blasted titanium or matte blasted, I'm not quite sure, but it does look very stylish. And then we have some carbon fiber. Let's see if we can get it to show in a good way. Once again, it is difficult due to the lighting conditions here, but this one is offered in wave carbon fiber and, you know, more regular normal carbon fiber, which is what I went with because I thought it was a tad bit more stylish, but that is going to be up to personal preferences anyways. And the thing I really like here is that there is, for once, there is no you know, you can't feel the transition between titanium and carbon fiber. I recently got a MagSafe Pantry, which is actually one of my, if not my absolute most favorite folder at the moment. But there you could feel the transition between the bolster, that was a Damascus bolster, and the carbon fiber. Here it is, you cannot feel any transition. It is super smooth, and that is a bit surprising, to be honest. And talking about feel in hand, so my hands, I wear size 10 gloves, I have fairly large hands, but this one feels exceptional in hand. I did a video review yesterday, I believe, or was it the day before yesterday maybe, of the Wii Knife Mini Synergy, which, well, it's not too similar to this knife, but it is, they have a share of maybe one or two similarities perhaps, but anyway, that knife felt pretty good in hand. It had pretty good ergos, I believe, but this one is even better, a lot better even. This one is super comfortable in hand. I can't, you know, I'm not gonna feel any, I can't feel any places where any hotspots could be or appear. It just feels really nice. Easily a full 4-finger grip. Let's see. It's just like it was custom made for my hand, sort of, and that's a good feeling. So up here on the spine, as you can see again, let's see. Now you see the swedge grinds, and you can see the full thickness part here, and we have some pretty light jimping going on here. Not sure how well it can be seen. It does add for some extra grip resistance of sorts. Not too aggressive, but not too mild or too weak either. So pretty good, I'd say. You have this sort of, I'm not gonna call it a choil really, but I can't find a better word right now. But you could probably, for finer work, place your finger here, but it might be perhaps a tad bit risky, to be honest. But as long as you're cautious and aware, you could probably do it. So let's take a look at the closing and the flipping action. Closing action is it's not bad. But then again, I don't have any, you know, reference materials when it comes to this maker or brand. But to me, it is. I mean, it's a brand new knife, and I'd say that it won't need that much breaking in because it does close fairly easy. It's got this almost, not really hydraulic feel to it, but it does close with ease. I'd say that much at least. And the opening action, as you have already seen, it is quite nice. It's probably semi-hard to fail an opening with this one. I mean, can of course be done, but just like this, it does, you know, it does open and close quite nicely. There's no lock stick or anything. Close. So let's see about the lockup here. We got a frame lock, of course, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, but it is a frame lock design. And the lockup is about, oh, interesting, maybe like 20% tops, but not an issue at all. Like I said, no lock stick. And blade play, no blade play. Blade centering is always interesting to watch. So we got a perfectly, like, yeah, 100% center blade. That's always appreciated. And there's, man, I really, let's see if we can get a look here. It's gonna be super difficult. They really went, you know, full, there's not a lot of space here for the tip, you know. Really maximizing the size of the handle. That's close. So what more can we say? Backspacer. It is pretty fancy looking backspacer. Never really seen this specific design before, but it does look pretty nice. Lanyard hole, you have it, it's milled here in the back part of the handle, of course. I rarely use lanyards, but for those that do and enjoy that, there is a milled in lanyard hole right there. So I think that this model is based on a custom design. I should of course have read into who is the original custom maker that designed the knife, but I don't really know that right now on the top of my head. I did read about it before and I've heard about it before, but it is a knife based on a custom design, sort of made by Reate now. Probably at a bit more affordable price, but I have no clue what the original custom would be. So Reate Coyote, my first experience with this maker. I do have one more Reate, which is the Tribute. Very different knife compared to this one. And this was my first pick, the Tribute. I just happened to stumble over it and decided I wanted to give it a go. So, but this is what I really wanted. And I am very satisfied with what I got. No doubt. Love this one. I should make a top 10 folder video where I go over all the folders I have and pick out my absolute favorites. And I'm quite sure this one would qualify for the top 5 easily. Maybe even top 3, to be honest. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you do of course have the pocket clip here. No protruding areas, no sharp edges, no nothing like that. Kind of plain and simple, but highly functional. I do prefer this kind of pocket clip over those that are a bit more pointy, or you know that you know dig into your hand. This one does not. So functionality before aesthetics when it comes to pocket clips. Absolutely. Maybe we should do a sharpness test here. I did bring a magazine with me, I think. Yeah, it does seem to be be fairly sharp. Yeah, it will cut, no doubt. So that's gonna be it for the tabletop review of sorts of the Reate Coyote, or Coyote. I really need to check how you pronounce that name of this knife. See if we can get some more in detail shots of this one. See that ever so slight recurve. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I feel sort of like I did with the Max Ace Pancher that I want a second one just to have like a spare one. Since all of my folders are indeed users, no matter what they cost or the materials or aesthetics, I still like to use my knives. I feel like I get the most value of them that way. But that is just me. I mean, I have no problem with people just collecting or having safe queens, etc. I mean, I do have a few safe queens in my fixed blade collection, but yeah, this is a winner to me, definitely. Super happy with it.